In my first watch of the movie, it immediately struck me that it can be read as an allegory for three things. So first is about mental illness. That gown, so like that scene where she has a fight with Thomas, she rips open her gown, exposing like her corset underneath. And that gown that she breaks out of, there is a shot of that from the back. It sort of like is a striped gown, and the stripe sort of comes to a V. And when a gown is beautifully and, carefully made, the V's would like line up against each other. But for whatever reason, they're askew in this movie. They're not matching. They're not aligned perfectly. And I think that that's a visual signal that, one, she's not rich enough because she couldn't buy enough fabric that lined up perfectly with each other. But also, two, a sign that she's a little bit off. There's something a little bit wrong here. Something is askew. And Ellen's loneliness is really, really highlighted from the start. As a child, as I said, that's when she first meets Nosferatu. She gets better when she marries Thomas, but then that loneliness comes back to her again when Thomas leaves her for work. Coincidentally, these two moments, her childhood and after Thomas leaves, are also the moments when Nosferatu has a tighter grip on her. I mean, she explicitly says in the movie that Thomas has helped keep Nosferatu away, and I'm theorizing here, but I think obviously that's because Thomas gave Ellen a sense of belonging, a sense of home, of care, of love. And so when he leaves her, her situation worsens and she starts having these really violent seizures. So one of the quotes that really struck me in the film is when Ellen was talking to Anna and she says, "Do you ever feel at times as if you're not a person? What I wish to say is that you're not truly present nor alive, as if you're at the whim of another, like a dog. Someone or something had the power to breathe life into you, to move you." I remember this is 1838 Germany. There were just so many misconceptions about how to deal with mental illness. We see scenes, for example, where Ellen is tied to the bed at the advice of the family doctor. And the same doctor tells her to sleep in her corsets to stop her from sleepwalking because it sort of regulates her blood better, or whatever, Victorian superstition he held at that time. And so when you approach the film in this way, you realize that it's her running away from her own mind, and her and the people around her not being able to deal with her mental illness.